This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching. Welcome to The Good Ride. I'm James Beastie, and what you see before you here is splitboard bindings. And I've been doing a lot of uphill travel before the lifts open, a lot of slack country work, and Clint, our primary splitboard reviewer, has been doing a lot more. But I'm here to give you my take from a more slack country, early up perspective on your local mountain, which I think these are most suitable for. But Clint will probably do a follow-up review as well from the perspective of somebody who does long tours and is a real splitboarder. So I've ridden the Explorer and the Expedition with a wide variety of boots, but lately I've been using my Burton Tourists, and I've ridden these on a lot of different boards. I've gotten most of my time with the Expedition, but also got some time with the Explorer here. They seem to be almost the same binding. I really don't see many differences. I've gotten these in a wide variety of conditions with everything from super deep snow to some pretty hard, firm, and unfair groomers. I rode these on a lot of split boards, but I also rode these on Union Rovers, and I've also mounted these on my drift boards. To give you a short summary, these Expeditions are the best I've found on the down. They do just such a good job turning and just having a good feel underfoot. But let's put it in perspective. If you compare these to any solid binding in Union's line, they're not as good if you want to use these for solids and have a quiver. But they're not bad. Just splitboard bindings are just not that good in comparison to solid bindings. That's one thing I've experienced. They've got some things, some quirks and kinks that I hope they keep working on when it comes to the up and to the mounting solutions. But overall, if you're all about the down and you're looking for an easy uphill slack country binding that's lightweight, reliable, this could work for you. First off, the way you mount these bindings, you have to take this little thing right here and use it to line up the mounts on your split board. It's a little difficult to set up. You have to start with this plate, these plates on the bottom, then screw this in on the top. It's a little easier with some other split board bindings, but it's very doable. Just don't ever lose this. So one of the problems I found with these Union Explorers is when you have them set up with clips like this from Union, and you go to put on your binding after you've made your long ascent and you slide it in, what happens is sometimes it slides these two pieces and makes it very difficult for you to get the pin in and to get it lined up correctly. So then you have to play this game where you're pushing these back and forth until you get this pin in correctly. This doesn't happen with Karakoram clips because they hold the board together better. And the newer system even has a lock up here as well as down here, so this board stays in place really well. So that might be a way to fix it. Or you just have to deal with a little bit of frustration when setting this up when you get up top. So another problem I found with some split boards, when you set it all the way back and you go to twist in your Union Explorers, they hit this. They hit the clips. And that can be problematic. Luckily, this is a Karua Escalator Split Plus, and it has Union clips, and they work with Union bindings, so it works fine. But if you're with other boards and you want to set it all the way back, sometimes this will get in the way, and you can't do that. And a big thanks to Mike from Mountain Weekly, who pointed this out to me years ago when I first started tooling around with split boards. The whole twisting thing is just not ideal for me. I love being able to slide them in like you can with Spark R&D or with Karakoram, where you just kind of insert it in and pull up the back and kind of clip it in. Now, the other thing that I find a little difficult is there is just one riser. Almost every other splitboard binding that I've dealt with, maybe except for the Karakoram Prime Connect, has 2 risers. And with the Karakoram Prime Connect, you can buy a part from them that gives you 2 options, but that was kind of frustrating as well. And if I had to choose between 2 bindings, I would choose these. But in comparison to my Burton hitchers, they have 2 modes, and even on my drift boards with the built-in binding, there are 2 modes. So I'd love to see them fix that, because on my uphill route I need both those settings and I use them often. So just having this is a little frustrating at times, because sometimes you don't need all this rise and it feels like you're walking in high heels, but if you go down like this, you feel like you're really stressing your Achilles heel and your calves, and so kind of frustrating. But those are kind of the only points that I really don't like. I love that you can quiver up with these because they are good for splitboard bindings. And if you splitboard and you have a quiver of boards, you can get a bunch of these discs. They're not like the splitboard discs that are apart. It's a solid thing, so you screw it in, put these on, and you can just twist in and out of and change in and out of boards all day. I think I like the Now system a little better, but this isn't bad at all, and it's not bad for somebody who wants to have a splitboard binding and a solid binding. It's a nice compromise. Now let's talk Highback Flex. Just a nice mellow Highback Flex. Nice twist, same old famous Union twist, and then a little give, but not a lot. You pop this back for touring mode, so you get that kind of negative flex. Then just remember to put that like this for when you're going downhill. When it comes to flex underfoot, you have kind of a mini disc setup, and that's kind of cool. It's not quite like a mini disc that you get from Union, but it's close. It's better than a full-size disc, so the board doesn't feel totally dead underfoot, and I think that's one of the reasons why these Union bindings have such a good feel underfoot and such a good down for a splitboard binding. They still suck compared to all the other Union bindings that work with solids, but they're really good for splitboard bindings. And when it comes to turn initiation and response, yeah, I've taken these out on some of my favorite boards that I know really well, that I ride with, mainly with like Union Atlas or Strata or Falcor or Contact Pros. And then I put these bindings on and I was like, is it me? Am I not liking my board as much today? Is this board just not feeling as good? And then I took these off and put on my Union Atlas and I went, oh, okay, it's the bindings. But again, for splitboard bindings, they do pretty well. They have good response. But they're not great. You just feel like you're riding a much older binding. But that's splitboard bindings for you. When it comes to shock absorption and dampness, having this plastic kind of base here really helps with the dampness and the shock absorption, and you can see they have some pads here to help there, and you have a little thin layer of EVA foam throughout the top. So out of the box, it's better than almost any other splitboard binding. The Karakoram Prime Connects have more shock absorption in the heel, but they're heavier and they're far less reliable, and they've got lots of issues that for me it wasn't worth it to have that extra shock absorption. I'd rather be on these than those. And when it comes to support for side hilling and for just boot support going down an uneven terrain, I find this ankle strap is more than supportive. I like both of these just fine, the old and the new. I think it's pretty good. I felt that my Burton hitcher had a little bit more support, but not by much. And these toe straps are the best. I just love these for touring and for going downhill. I just feel they just fit around the boot and grip really well. The ratchets are amazing. The adjustability is pretty cool. These have a really good way to adjust for your boot size. You can slide the heel loop in or out. There isn't high back rotation, but it's okay. These twist enough. Overall, I found these were pretty good bindings. They have good ankle straps, good ratchets. They're really good on the down. They have some quirks on the up, but it's something that a lot of people can get past. For me, the deal breaker was the setback and not having 2 settings here. And hopefully they can find a way to get around that. And this might become my go-to binding because I just love the versatility of it. All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, and we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.